This video is sponsored by MultiVersus. Things you might not know: I love fighting games. Things you might assume from watching other gameplay of mine: I'm bad at fighting games. And you'd be right. Pro button masher, novice in every other regard. My only saving grace are platform-based fighters. I grew up on platformers, so even if I can't boast pure fighting prowess, I can pogo around while playing controller piano, sinking hundreds of hours into the genre's dominant titles, smashing through the decades. So when I was asked to take a sponsored look at WB's take on the genre, I couldn't help myself. Properties like DC Comics, Looney Tunes, and Scooby Doo were childhood staples of mine. Now as an adult seeing Game of Thrones and new childhood staples like Adventure Time and Steven Universe, MultiVersus is nostalgic representation for all ages. With a killer roster, the question remains, does the game itself deliver? Today, I'll share all the details from a recent alpha to provide an answer. MultiVersus can be played in 3 styles: 1v1, 2v2, and free-for-all. You can play against bots, matchmake online versus other players, or do a custom match. The game is free to play, available on PC, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and 5, with full cross-play and cross-progression across those platforms. Seeing these keys to longevity and accessibility be a priority is awesome. In my experience, matchmaking was near instant and the netcode was spectacular. To get your feet wet, there's basic and advanced tutorials. Once you log down the basics, you can test in the lab. You can change characters in seconds, customize starting damage, AI behavior, show hit stun, juggle combos, and nullify cooldowns. Damage dealt increases the knockback power of blows, with ringouts being the metric for victory. In the 2v2 mode, stock is shared by the team. Online default was 4 stock per team, 2 stock in 1v1, and 2.5 minutes to obtain the highest score in free-for-all. Your kit includes a jump, dodge, normal attacks, and special attacks. You get a second jump to work with, as well as 2 mid-air dodges. That's 4 total air moves per liftoff, not to mention mid-air attacks. This is gonna make the skill ceiling for mobility massive. Ground and air dodges can outright take away enemy advantage, though it's well balanced with tight timing. You have 4 normal and special attacks altered by directions, with mid-air variations. Within these moves, it's important to note the emphasis on team play. Many moves have direct synergy with your teammates, such as Wonder Woman being able to shield allies, or the new character Rain Dog's ability to tether teammates and pull them away from certain death. The possibilities to combo with your ally adds a team skill ceiling that will be amazing to see develop. The 4 face buttons dictate the jump, dodge, and 2 attack types on controller by default, with fully customizable button remapping. That's not all, you can fully customize the interface as well. Don't like the damage tracking under the player? Shift it to the top with ease. The outlines, team colors, and UI positioning is all at your discretion. With the game being free to play, you may wonder how accessible characters will be. As of the alpha, half the available roster was unlocked by default, with locked characters being accessed via a gold currency. This is obtained through completing initial challenges or participating in online matches. Interesting to note, playing online against bots counted for these goals, though custom matches did not. There are emotes and costumes for each character, along with icons, banners, stat badges, ring out effects, and announcer packs. These are primarily earned through the Battle Pass. The free variant provides a handful of these, while the most desirable items seem to come from the Premium Pass. I assume this is the monetization method for the game. Incentivize play to earn gold, access new characters, keep earning free items. Then if you enjoy the game and want to support it while getting neat in-game swag, you buy the Premium Battle Pass. It's comforting to know that any advantageous items aren't locked behind it. Instead, you earn individual experience per character for playing with them. This is another way to unlock bonus items, but also perks. These are small benefits such as an extra jump after hitting an enemy mid-air, or a few % extra damage from air launches. For investing time into a character, you get traits to benefit their style of play. To further emphasize 2v2 matches, perks can be shared with allies. If you choose the same perks, you dramatically increase the bonus. There's a character select screen once matched, then you do a finalization of perks afterward. You can't see the perks your foes are using, but you can see who they're playing. Drafting perks before a match will have strategic value. Hopefully these are all balanced well and make for some neat customization. Even further incentivizing team play, you get an extra 30% extra Battle Pass XP and gold when teaming with a friend. That's in addition to the rested bonuses for extra XP and bonus gold for your first win each day. It's clear how heavily they are encouraging players to stick with the game, but how well does it all play in practice? Within the alpha roster, there are 5 classes with 3 directional styles. Wonder Woman represents the tank class with a horizontal style. She's great at absorbing damage and delivering lateral offense. Her neutral is a fast forward swing. It can be held to charge for extra damage with a nice meter to indicate it. Her air neutral is a short double swing. Sides are your combo tool with a slash, kick, and bash. Mid-air sides are similar to the ground neutral, a fast and powerful swing. Up attacks are chargeable shield bashes, while becoming a strong overhead kick in the air. Down attacks create a blast centered on Wonder Woman. The greater the charge, the greater the range. Damage is determined by her Bracer meter, which builds as you block and soak damage with armor. This shout grants armor to Wonder Woman and an ally if they're in the blast. Mid-air, it becomes a powerful down thrust. Her neutral special is the Lasso of Truth, reeling enemies or allies in with a cooldown before reuse. Side special charges forward with shield raised, destroying projectiles. You can maintain the shield to block more projectiles, allowing allies to pass through it and gain armor. Up special instead dashes upward, allowing her to hang in midair briefly and let allies bounce off her shield for momentum. Finally, her down special dashes to allies in range, cleanses any debuff, and gives a shielded buff with a long cooldown. Going further than armor's damage reduction, this shield blocks knockback and damage from the next hit. Breaking this increases her Bracer meter. As you can see, Wonder Woman has powerful attacks, but centers around absorbing and deflecting damage for you and your ally. Wonder Woman is joined by fellow tank Superman. Next up is the real Superman, Shaggy, a hybrid bruiser whose powerful blows batter opponents in all directions. Don't let your memes be dreams. His neutral is a brutal jab that grants armor while charging. In air, he does a flurry of kicks that breaks armor. Sides are a combo ending in a headbutt and a fast chargeable knee strike midair. Up attacks are chargeable overhead swings and a sweeping blow above him midair. Down attacks charge an armored stomp that breaks armor and combos into a big clap that briefly slows enemies. In air, it's a close-handed pound attack slamming enemies downward. His specials revolve around the memes. Neutral special charges Rage, giving him and nearby allies a buff, altering his specials. Enraged, he blasts opponents away with the display of power. Side special is a flying forward kick that hits like a truck when enraged. Up special is an uppercut that hits multiple times when enraged for huge knockback, though only when he's on the ground. Down special pulls out some munchies to weaponize. If it goes through an ally, it heals them. Enraged, the sandwich becomes massive and moves slower. When not wielding the sandwich enraged, he does a forward earth-shattering stomp. In contrast to tanks, Bruisers center around dealing mighty chargeable blows for hefty damage and early ringouts. Other Bruisers include Jake, Garnet, Batman, and Taz. Next up is Steven Universe, a member of the support class with game-changing bubble mechanics. His neutral is a forward punch inflicting the bubble debuff. Too many hits from Steven and you'll be removed from combat temporarily, a huge boon in team combat. His air neutral creates a short-range chargeable explosion. His side combo is a series of bubble blows, while he projects a shield that reflects projectiles midair. Up attacks are a chargeable uppercut and bubble clap upward midair. Down attacks are a gem barrier that reflects projectiles and slams downward midair. His neutral special throws a hazardous bubble that blows seconds later. This trap mixes devilishly with his side special, tossing out a shield that blocks enemies but grants allies armor if they pass through it. These both have cooldowns though, so you can't spam them. Up special places a platform only usable by your team, with one placeable at a time. His down special plants a temporary healing aura that explodes and creates a temporary ally. And in midair, you surf on a shield, sliding onto the ground or bouncing off enemies into a comboable dive kick. No doubt it would take quick twitch reactions and fast strategy to best utilize Steven, but supports like him have unique kits that can turn the tide of battle in the right hands. Other supports include the newcomer Rain Dog and Velma. Bugs Bunny is a hybrid mage utilizing galaxy brain traps and tricks to torment opponents. His neutral is a mallet swing, turning into a helicopter punch that breaks armor midair. His side combo is a flurry breaking armor, while a chargeable forward kick in the air. Up attacks kick upward and batter opponents midair. Down attacks equip multiple pies before a cooldown that you can throw to heal allies or slow enemies. In air, he either tosses a pie if you have it equipped, or does a downward mallet slam. His specials are where it gets wild. Neutral throws down a target, which shortly drops a safe onto enemies, can be hit into enemies, and drops an item when destroyed. This can be a projected attack usable multiple times, a charging spearman across the arena, or Shaggy's sandwich. Side special smooches enemies, locking them in place temporarily, or max an ally to power up their next attack. Side special midair rides a rocket that serves as a platform, which shares a cooldown with up special that rides one skyward, later careening down and obliterating enemies. enemies. His down special sends him underground, where he can soon shoot out an attack, though you can end it early by jumping. Allies can even hop in that tunnel to teleport. Even more than Steven, Bug seems like he'd be immensely hard to master, but a maddening foe when played right. He's accompanied by fellow troublemakers Tom and Jerry. Finally, Harley Quinn is an assassin with a vertical style. She excels in smacking opponents upwards, swift movement, and painful debuffs. Her neutral is a powerful mallet swing grounded and in midair. Her side attacks combo and end in upward momentum, or are kicks midair that bounce Harley away from the enemy. Up attacks include upward swings, and noob tubing enemies to apply her confetti debuff. Confetti traps make enemies subsequently hit rapidly light ablaze for considerable damage. Her down attack charges a sliding kick or a boxing glove downward midair. Her neutral special is a sticky explosive Batman you can detonate at will. It applies confetti and refreshes allies' air cooldowns. Multiple can be thrown before its own cooldown. Side special fires a boxing glove horizontally, which can be done twice in any direction you like, creating tricky air mobility. Up special is a heavy swing upward, while down special places a jack-in-the-box that detonates when opponents touch it. Allies who jump next to it activate it, refreshing air cooldowns. Assassins like Harley are fast technicians that excel in layering damage over time with sneaky support utility. Other assassins include Arya Stark and Finn. Every character shares a general kit, but shines through specializations unique to their personality and battle style. This makes for deep combat encounters that go a mile a minute in practice. I found tanks and bruisers the most forgiving to play, while assassins' speed and tools made them a blast even when I hardly knew what I was doing. Supports and mages were too strategic for me to handle, though I can't wait to see them fully explored. Hopefully I've done well to show off everything the game has to offer. All that's left is the most important question: did I have fun? My answer is an emphatic yes. Truly, it's some of the most fun I've had playing any fighting game. It feels accessible for the entry level, there's enough depth to differentiate characters, appeal to multiple playstyles and skill levels, and the moment-to-moment combat was a blast. I never would have imagined meme Shaggy and Harley Quinn would team up against Arya Stark and Bugs Bunny, but wild crossover fanfiction is now reality. I'm a big proponent of cooperative experiences to enjoy with friends rather than against them, so I love the emphasis on team play. To me, that's the most unique hook alongside the perk system. I can't wait to see all the combinations players come up with. Matches were paced quite well, the length of them felt perfect. I love that there's an option right after to rematch and enter a best of 3. I love that you can access the lab during matchmaking. I love how fast matchmaking was, along with great netcode. The free-to-play nature makes the barrier to entry low, cross-play and progression is amazing for a healthy player base, and the quality promises to keep players satisfied. With a non-aggressive monetization strategy, I could see this becoming a massive hit. It has the quality, depth, accessibility, and star power to reach those heights. In terms of concerns, I do have 2. I hope my assumptions about the monetization end up being correct. In a free-to-play setting, paid cosmetics are understandable. That said, I hope the initial roster of fighters remains attainable through free currency. I would especially hate to see perks ever locked behind a paywall. My second concern is skill-based matchmaking. One of the easiest ways for a fighting game to falter is alienating new players against veteran masters. I hope there's a plan to sort players into appropriate skill tiers, especially for team play with friends where skill will vary. Custom matches will be able to serve as a free arena regardless of skill. Overall, I'm seriously impressed with MultiVersus. It's the first time I've played a non-Smash platform fighter and felt like it could rival it. That's bold praise, so I'm interested to see what you think. If you're interested, check the link in the description below to sign up for early access. While this is a sponsored video, all opinions remain my own. I'm grateful to all of you for the opportunity to get sneak peeks at games like this, so thank you for watching, much love to you, and I'll see you soon in an Elden Ring speedrun breakdown and community ranking.